Hello there. Some of you may not know who Bob and Glen really are. A few years ago, Bob and Glen had owned a pizza shop, which closed and caused Bob to live in the trunk of his car, and Glen lived in an apartment and worked at Burger King to make extra money. They decided to start their own show to try and make some cash. They first started out with just an old video camera and introduced a wide variety of characters. Out of these characters, Bob and Glen carefully picked 5 characters to stay with the show. These characters were the priest, Lamen, the Hick, Wagner and Chicken. Since then, 2 characters have been killed. Wagner and Chicken are no longer alive. Background info. The priest is the oldest Bob and Glen character. He thought he was alone on the earth after coming back from seeing God. God told the priest that it was not his time to die, so the priest says he has infinite life. His birthday is on New Year's and has 600 some years old. He loves God, and sometimes you can't even understand what he says. Lamen is the craziest Bob and Glen character. He comes from a town called Hick where they all speak English, but in a different way. You can hardly make out what he's trying to say. He has a wife who has a lot of hair. She's also disabled from the waist down. The Hick and his cousin Joe are from Alabama. He talks like a Hick and drives a pickup truck to wherever he needs to get to. He's hardly ever seen on the show because his truck always breaks down or something. He always wears a cowboy hat. Wagner, who is now dead, was a really crazy character. He killed his mother with a lawn chair and took a few heart attacks. He always tries to kill people and he flips out. He locked all the characters inside a room, and then when Glen got out, he killed Wagner by smashing a jar of jam over his head. We held a funeral for Wagner, but after a while we discovered Wagner's body wasn't there. Glen went on the search for Wagner, and when he found him, he shot him in the face. Chicken is the fattest Bob and Glen character. He loves chicken, which is why his parents named him Chicken when he was a kid. Chicken hates his parents because they did that. Chicken lives alone and eats all day. Sometimes he slims out to get around. He usually screams when he talks. He died about 3 times and once had the heart of a turtle. Chicken is now dead because he was killed by Wagner. Hopefully that brings you up to date on what the Bob and Glen show really is.